got this idea of buying a piece of property and putting a bunch of cabins or bungalows on it and having some sort of mix of like a family compound, but where you could also rent it out, have big groups of friends, and probably wouldn't be that much of a career, but it'd be a really fun hobby.
This is the Insurance Technology Podcast, where we bring interesting people from across the insurance ecosystem to discuss and debate technology's impact on the industry. Join us each episode for insights and best practices from industry stewards and tomorrow's innovators.
Today in the hot seat for the Insurance Technology Podcast, I have Jesse Wedler with CapitalG. Welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
So before we get into the big interview with Reed, just wanted to ask you a couple personal questions so that our listeners can get to know you better. So
sounds good.
First one, favorite movie.
So I don't think I have a favorite movie now, but the favorite movie I had for the longest time was Speed. Remember that Keanu Reeves movie back in '94? It's a pretty terrible movie, but when I was like early teen years, I was like, this is incredible. I probably watched it 100 times.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorites. And I also think too, Keanu Reeves likes to do multiples, right? He did multiple Speeds. Now he's got multiple John Wicks.
Yeah, they hijacked the bus. That was a good one.
Favorite music genre?
I'm kind of a classic rock and reggae type of guy. Listen to some Van Morrison, listen to some Slightly Stupid, some older reggae.
Nice. So on the music theme, last concert you attended?
I saw Revolution up in Bend, Oregon, at the amphitheater out there. And it's a great little venue, outdoors, and it was a good show.
I love outdoor theaters.
This one's right on the river, on the Deschutes River, so people watch it from their canoes and kayaks sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just got a good local feel, small, beautiful view. It's a fun spot.
So changing it up a little bit, and I always say that we add these questions in because of Reed being a car guy. So first car you drove? Ford
Aerostar, parents hand-me-down minivan with fold-down back seats. It was the camper edition. So we did some good camping trips in that. It was fun.
Love it. My husband actually got his mom's minivan, and it's amazing. All of a sudden you're like, I don't want a minivan, but then you realize how many people can get in the minivan, and you're driving everybody
high
everywhere.
Utility. Yeah, it's kind of a rite of passage. Yeah.
So current car?
Ford F-150.
I wouldn't expect that, Jesse. I feel like you'd be like a Tesla guy or something.
Yeah, my daily driver is the F-150.
Dude, I love the F-150. A newer one?
Newer one. Pretty few years old. Lariat, gas, not electric. But it's it takes the family around, fun to drive, tows the boat. Beautiful. It's all around easy. Parking, it's kind of a pain around town, but that's about it.
All right, two more. If money was not an object, what would you be doing for a career right now?
Well, I don't know if I'd be doing a career per se, but I would be doing a mix of probably cruising a sailboat around the Pacific and probably running some sort of lodge up in Oregon. Got this idea of buying a piece of property and putting a bunch of cabins or bungalows on it and having some sort of mix of like a family compound, but where you could also rent it out, have big groups of friends, and probably wouldn't be that much of a career, but it'd be a really fun hobby.
Yeah. No, that sounds awesome. All right. Last one. Why did you agree to be on the podcast?
Because Reed's the man.
It's funny, a lot of people say that.
Okay.
That's the answer.
Not the first. Yeah. No, I was stoked to get invited and excited for this.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting in the hot seat.
Thank you.